Hi. Yeah, I do. I think the Bible had been written by men, okay, and it's written on different levels, and that the deeper levels are for the initiated. And this is the way it's always been in mythology, in mystery school mythology, um, because it's hierarchical, right? And it's written, from what I've learned, the Bible is written in layers. You've got the superficial stories. By superficial, I'm not trying to devalue some of the morality of some of the stuff. It's like wisdom, which a lot of it's been taken from older mythologies, like from Egypt and things like that. But they've used transliteration, pun, wordplay, using other languages, dead languages like Sumerian, putting it together, symbology, metaphor, numerology, things like that, that only the initiates could dig, to understand, like that. Like you say in your video about this God, you talk about this God who's going to sort it all out at the end of time, and he's going to throw all the people with the mark of the beast in dungeon and hell, eternity, everlasting hell. Well, that's nice, isn't it? That's nice, God. You'd do something like that. Who'd write a story like that, I wonder? Yeah, I mean, hint. Who would write a story like that if not some elite who's into controlling its victims, that people believe what they're spinning, yeah? Because from my experience, what I know of religion, the Christian religion, it's caused a lot of people a lot of grief, guilt, it's caused a lot of friction in communities, different factions, Catholics and Protestants, crusades, you name it, So, who does that? Who likes to divide and control? Surely it's an elite group that likes to do that. Because, when people are fighting with each other, the core elites keep on keeping on, keep the power structure going. Right? I was watching something, John Maxwell video earlier on, and he was showing, it wasn't John Maxwell, it's Springmeyer. He was showing this diagram, you have these different boundaries around this round shape diagram showing that hierarchical structure, and in the middle you've got this black centre, and that is the elite, and all these fractions around it, all these boundaries, the potential conflicts with each other, while the elite manipulates all that, So you could quite easily see the Bible as doing that. I remember seeing a documentary a while back of Solomon's temple in Israel, and they have to have armed guards, because even though Abraham is supposed to be the prophet of the three different religions, Islam, Judaism, Christianity, when they go there to this place, this building, they have to be protected from each other by armed guards. Right? So what's that if that's not divide and conquer? What is it? So I'm looking at straight directly at the mindset behind all these different stories. Call them myths, call them stories. They all use words, symbols, right? Numerology. And so you start looking at that. I'm starting to look at that. And then you deduce and you get a feel for what is going on. Right? Just think. Because it's a really complex subject, this. Because it's so in the face. I mean, you know, we're all living and breathing it. This is like, I've already done like a video. I did like an introduction video, basically, because I was inspired by your response to, you know, the video, Max and everything. And I'm seeing this mindset, two major ones of Judeo-Christian mindset or Judeo-Christian Islamic, but basically the commentators, if you go online, talking about the Illuminati, things like that, are Judeo-Christian, 99.9%. So I'm looking at that mindset from an outsider, and I'm looking at the Illuminati mindset, and I'm seeing kind of like these two groups, and I'd kind of like see it as, on one side you have like the ones who follow a god, right, who is masculine, would you say? Masculine, you know, you call him, you call him he, and everything like that. It's transcendent, like the creator god, who lays out rules for living. Says you can have no other god but me. That warns in the Garden of Eden, you cannot eat of the fruit that makes you gods. And on the other side, you've got the Illuminati, Freemasons, Illuminati, Luciferians, Satanists, you know, dash, who say, oh yeah, we can. You know, we don't have to. You're an evil god because you're stopping us becoming gods. We want to become gods. We want to do what we want. Right, so they interpret that myth as saying you can become gods. And you've got the myth of the serpent that comes into the garden, and then he becomes Lucifer, you know, and all this business. So I'm seeing them as like rebellious sons against a strict daddy, right, who want to do what the hell they want to do. But only the ones who have the power to do it. Right. So we have to examine, instead of being caught up in either side, to see it as an outsider, you've got to understand, in order to investigate, you've got to understand what does it mean becoming a god, and what does it mean being a god? Do you know what is all behind that? And to investigate that, you've got to really delve deep into what came before that. You know, that's what I'm trying to do. But, you know, it's not something you can do in, I mean, I've got to give up this about another minute, because like a time limit. It's not something, it's like so unbelievably complex, because we're all caught up in these myths. You know, they're driven into your head all the time. Let's cut it there now.